All right, let me tell you something wild. I just realized every famous money guru out there is basically selling the same exact blueprint, just wrapped up in different shiny paper. Seriously, today we're going to look inside the empires of some of the biggest names in personal finance. Dave Ramsey's Baby Step Kingdom, Ramit Sethi's I Will Teach You to Be Rich community, Tony Robinson's Business Mastery crowd, Humphrey Yang's massive Gen Z fan base, and Dan Martell's mastermind. What do you think we're going to find within these empires? It's not what you think. Every single one of them quietly run an identical 4-step wealth building engine. Stick with me because by the time this video wraps up, you're not just going to have this engine, you'll be able to choose which guru you want to follow and get started. You know, most people bounce from one money guru to the next, right? Why? Well, because each new story sounds so fresh, so revolutionary. Dave Ramsey, he's out there screaming at you to cut up your credit cards, telling you to live on beans and rice. Then you've got Ramit Sethi, who's practically giving you permission to order that fancy latte while your investing robots are quietly piling up wealth in the background. Tony Robbins, he's slamming boards, making you walk on coals, all so you can believe in the magic of compound interest. Meanwhile, Humphrey Yang is calmly, almost sincerely drawing elegant index fund diagrams on a whiteboard, making it all seem so simple. And then there's Dan Martell, who's selling you this whole buy back your time mindset, promising you freedom. It feels like 5 completely different paths, doesn't it? But here's the kicker. The packaging is different, sure, but the fundamental moving parts inside, they're all stamped from the same factory. I've spent time reverse engineering those parts, digging into the mechanics, the psychology, the hidden levers, and today I'm handing you those blueprints absolutely free. So if you've got a pen, grab it and jot this down. Trust me, this is going to save you years of frustrating trial and error, and honestly, a small fortune that would otherwise be spent on those endless upsells. We're cutting straight to the core. All right, so let's start with Dave Ramsey's zero-based budgeting machine. So now Dave Ramsey's public persona is all about beans and rice, right? Cutting coupons, extreme frugality, but his real secret sauce, the thing that makes his system so incredibly effective for millions, isn't just about deprivation. It's about forcing every single dollar you earn to audition for a job, to have a purpose before it even hits your bank account. He champions what's called zero-based budgeting, a concept that might sound tedious at first glance. I mean, tracking every dollar, but it creates this incredibly powerful feedback loop. You forecast where your money needs to go, you track where it actually goes, and then you adjust based on reality. This isn't just a budget, it's a living, breathing financial nervous system. And guess what? This exact feedback loop, this intentionality with every dollar, is the same fundamental mechanism the other 4 gurus, in their own unique ways, rely on. Dave just scripts it with his signature church language and those iconic envelope emojis. His genius, though, truly shines with the dead snowball method. Behavioral economists often scratch their heads at it. Why would you pay off a smaller balance first when a higher interest rate is costing you more money? It seems counterintuitive, right? But Ramsey understands human psychology better than most spreadsheets ever could. He knows that momentum outruns pure math for the average person. Your brain craves wins, those little dopamine hits, not just abstract numbers on a spreadsheet. So write this down, tattoo it in your brain. The budget itself isn't the ultimate goal. No, the budget is the scorecard, the real-time feedback mechanism that keeps you emotionally invested, keeps you motivated to stay in the game and win. It's about control, clarity, and celebrating those small victories that build into financial freedom. It's the foundational discipline that makes everything else possible. Okay, so Ramit Sethi at first glance seems like the complete anti-Dave. While Ramsey preaches cutting, Ramit tells you to spend lavishly on the things you genuinely love. He practically gives you permission to order that latte to enjoy your life now. But peel back that velvet curtain, look past the initial marketing, and what do you find? The exact same financial nervous system, just dressed differently. Automation coupled with intense intentionality. Ramit's brilliance lies in how he wires your paycheck. The first 10 to 20% of your income vanishes. Poof, it's gone, whisked away into investment accounts, into savings before you even have a chance to see it, to touch it, or to accidentally spend it. He calls it paying your future self first, which, let's be honest, is a brilliant reframe. But fundamentally, it's just Ramsey's zero-based concept. Every dollar has a job, wearing sneakers and a hoodie, making it cool and effortless. Ramit's unique twist, what he calls the conscious spending flywheel. Once those financial robots are handling your fixed cost, your rent, your utilities, your automatic investments, and your guilt-free money is allocated, something magical happens. You stop thinking about money all the time. That constant mental load, that nagging worry about whether you should buy that thing or not, it dissipates. This lack of constant financial friction is the true genius. Friction, that mental drag, that decision fatigue, it's the enemy that sabotages most people's financial plans. Automation, on the other hand, is the cure. It removes the need for willpower, for constant vigilance. It isn't about cutting, it's about optimizing the flow, making the default choice the smart choice, and freeing up mental space to enjoy life without financial anxiety. It's about building a system that works for you, not against your human nature. Tony Robbins doesn't talk about budgets. No, that's too small-minded for him. He talks about state. He might fly private jets and live a life of extreme abundance, but don't for a second think he's not clipping coupons. He just does it in the form of massive, sophisticated tax strategies. His core addition to his shared financial engine is pure psychology. He reframes wealth not as a dollar amount in a bank account, but as the number of months you can comfortably live on your passive income. That's the real metric. Everything else, your real estate empire, your index funds, your private equity investments, those are just fuel sources for that number. They're the mechanisms to achieve that ultimate freedom. The emotional profit formula Tony teaches is deceptively simple, yet incredibly powerful. First, you decide precisely what you want with vivid detail. Then, and this is crucial, you associate massive pain with not having it, with staying stuck where you are. Finally, you associate massive pleasure with achieving it, with stepping into that desired future. Once your identity, your deep-seated self-image latches onto that picture, once you truly believe you are that financially secure person, the mechanics we've already covered, the budgeting, the automation, they don't just become easier, they become inevitable. They become natural extensions of who you are. Tony's event hype, the firewalks, and the motivational speeches, that's marketing, sure. But the underlying psychology hack, try it. Write a single powerful sentence like, I am financially secure on the first of every month, whether I work or not. Tape it to your bathroom mirror and read it every single morning for 30 days. See what happens. This isn't about willpower. It was about identity. Identity first, the numbers second. This is where the mindset meets the money. It's about aligning your inner world with your external actions to create a powerful, unstoppable force for wealth. Humphrey Yang, with his calm demeanor and viral TikToks, makes compound interest look like some kind of magic trick. You watch him and you think, wow, he's discovered some secret formula. But the big reveal, he's actually just packaging the same fundamental zero-based automation that we've seen with Dave and Ramit. But he's directing it squarely at a demographic that often thinks $100 is a significant amount of money to invest. His specialty, his superpower, is normalizing starting small. He makes it feel accessible, achievable, even for those who might feel intimidated by the traditional financial world. What's his formula? A simple $1,000 emergency fund, a Roth IRA, contributing maybe $50 a week, and then he tells you to buy a low-cost index fund and just chill. That's it. No complicated hedge fund secrets, no advanced rental property kung fu, no exotic options trading, just consistent, boring, long-term investing. The psychological wedge he uses, and brilliantly so, is pure relatability. If a 19-year-old barista earning minimum wage can set up an automated $25 a week transfer into a brokerage account, then you, a grown adult with a steady W-2 job, have absolutely zero excuses. He strips away the intimidation factor, the perceived complexity, and shows that investing isn't just for the wealthy or the financially savvy. It's for everyone. The shift in belief, a sense of ownership and possibility, is invaluable. It proves a powerful point. Relatability scales harder and faster than sophistication ever will. You don't need to be a financial wizard. You just need to start consistently with what you have. Humphrey shows us that the power isn't in finding a secret shortcut. It's in consistently applying simple, proven principles, even in small amounts over time. He's the bridge between intimidating financial jargon and everyday action, proving that patience and consistency are the real superpowers. Now, Dan Martell, at first glance, seems like he's in a completely different universe. He primarily sells software and mentorship to high-growth SaaS founders, yet his personal finance mandate is shockingly simple and incredibly extreme. Live on less than you make and put the rest to work. Now, Dan lives on just 10% of his income. 10%. How to put the rest to work? Well, that rockets straight into cash-producing assets, businesses, investments designed to generate more income and more freedom. Extreme? Absolutely. Effective? Ridiculously so. His core twist, the thing that makes this extreme frugality palatable and even desirable for his audience, is what he calls time arbitrage. The idea is simple. Every chore you hate doing, every low-value task that eats up your precious mental bandwidth and physical time gets delegated. You pay someone $15 to $30 an hour to handle it, freeing your time for activities that generate $100 to $1,000 or more an hour. The math here is identical to Ramsey's budget loop, allocating every dollar intentionally, and Ramit's automation, making the smart choice the easy choice. Dan just routes that surplus, that freed up capital and bandwidth, into building and scaling businesses or acquiring income generating assets rather than just passively investing in index funds. It's about leveraging your resources, including your time, to maximize your financial output. The time arbitrage seems most easily implemented within a business, but if you run your personal finances like a business with a profit and loss statement, the vision becomes clearer. Same engine, right? But with Dan's approach, it's running on a higher octane fuel, intentional action, and leverage time, propelling you towards financial goals at an accelerated rate. It's about being ruthless with your time and energy, understanding that your most valuable asset isn't just your money, but the hours you have to deploy it effectively. Let's pop the hood on this thing and really look at the mechanics. Despite all the different personalities, the unique marketing, and the varied approaches, these 5 gurus are all teaching the fundamental 4-step wealth engine. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. So let's go through it. Step 1, allocate every incoming dollar before it even lands. This is pure Dave Ramsey zero-based budgeting. It's not about restricting yourself. It's about giving every single dollar a job, a purpose, a destination before it has a chance to be impulsively spent. It's about being proactive, not reactive with your money. This foundational step ensures that you're always in control, always intentional, and always aware of where your financial resources are going. It's the planning phase, the strategic development of your income. Step 2, automate the essential surplus so it leaves the scene of the crime immediately. This is Ramit Sethi's conscious spending flywheel, brilliantly echoed by Humphrey Yang's simple investment advice. The moment your paycheck hits your savings, your investments, your debt payments, they should automatically transfer out. This isn't about willpower. It's about engineering your environment so the smart decision is the default decision. It removes friction, eliminates decision fatigue, and ensures consistency, even when you're busy or unmotivated. The money is gone before you can even think about spending it. Building your wealth on autopilot. Okay, step 3, protect the first 3 to 6 months of runway so an emergency doesn't derail the entire plan. This is a critical component strongly emphasized by Dan Martell in his business context, but equally vital for personal finance. This isn't just about a small emergency fund. It's about building a fortress around your financial life. Life happens, job loss, medical emergencies, unexpected car repairs. Without this robust safety net, one single unforeseen event can wipe out months, if not years, of financial progress, forcing you into debt or desperate measures. Having this buffer allows you to weather storms without panicking, without touching your investments, and without sacrificing your long-term goals. It's your financial peace of mind. All right, now step 4. Reinvest every freed hour and every saved dollar into assets that eventually outrun your lifestyle inflation. This is Tony Robbins' emotional profit formula in action, combined with Dan Martell's buy back your time strategy and the core of what Humphrey Yang promotes. It's about taking the money you've intentionally allocated and automatically saved and the time you've bought back and putting it to work, whether it's through index funds, real estate, starting a side hustle, or investing in your skills. The goal is to build an asset base that grows independently of your direct labor. This is how you create true financial freedom, where your money starts working harder for you than you work for it, eventually generating enough passive income to cover your living expenses and then some. That's it. 4 steps. 5 gurus, 1 powerful identical engine. Everything else you see, the envelopes, the lattes, the coal walks, the dashboards, the specific investment vehicles, that's all just window dressing, the unique flavor each guru adds. Master this core engine, understand these 4 fundamental principles, and you can confidently ignore all the distracting decorations and noise. You'll have the power to build serious wealth, no matter whose system you think you're following. Now, let's talk about some common pitfalls that can sabotage the engine. All right, you fast forward after you've got the engine installed and it's humming along, but even the best engineered machine can sputter if you hit some common potholes. Let's talk about the biggest killers that sabotage this wealth building engine. The absolute biggest killer, hands down, is lifestyle creep. You know how it goes. The moment your income jumps 10%, suddenly the world tries to sell you a 15% upgrade in your lifestyle. A bigger car, a fancier apartment, more expensive habits. You earn more, you spend more, and you end up just as financially stretched as before. How do you beat it? By automating your raises away before you even see them. When you get a bump in pay, immediately increase your automated savings or investment contributions by half or even all of that raise. Don't let that extra money even hit your lifestyle account. Make it invisible and it won't tempt you. The second killer is perfection paralysis. This one is insidious. People get stuck thinking they need the ideal budgeting app, the perfect index fund, the absolute best credit card with the highest rewards. They spend weeks researching, agonizing over choices, and in the process do absolutely nothing. My advice, forget perfection. Use a pen and paper for your budget. Invest in a broad market ETF and just start. Don't optimize until you have at least $50,000 invested. Seriously, action beats inaction every single time. Get moving, then refine. And finally, the third killer, comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 11. You hop on social media, you see someone flaunting their private jet, their mansion, their seemingly effortless wealth, and suddenly your diligent $50 weekly investment feels pathetic. This is a trap. You don't see their struggles, their decades of effort, their failures. Humility and consistency compound far faster and more effectively than jealousy or self-doubt ever will. Focus on your own journey, your own progress, and celebrate your own wins, no matter how small. Your path is unique, and your success will be too. Stay in your lane, run your race, and trust the process. So there you have it. 5 famous money religions, each with its own prophets and own scriptures, its own rituals, yet beneath all the unique packaging, there's one shared scripture, one universal truth that binds them all. It's this. First, give every single dollar you earn a clear mission before someone else decides it's fate for you. That's your zero-based intention. Second, automate that financial surplus, that precious capital, so willpower never has a chance to screw it up. Make the smart choice the only choice. And third, protect your downside. Build that 6-month moat around your financial castle so life's inevitable punches don't knock you off course. And finally, aim every freed hour and every saved dollar at assets that will eventually outrun your lifestyle inflation, assets that work tirelessly for you and your financial freedom. Steal that system. Seriously, take it, make it yours. Just get started. If you don't have an emergency fund, start there. Soon, you'll be operating on a whole different level. I'm Josh Duncan, partner at F5 Financial Planning. If you would like to learn more about how we help our clients achieve financial freedom for personal significance, please visit our website at www.f5fp.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.